Hi everybody, I'm Q and welcome back to my tapes. Hold on, let me zoom in. Okay, hey. Okay, so this is a question that I've been kind of thinking about for a while. Beyonce, Solange, Kendrick, SZA, Normani. Did I say Solange? Drake, Aubrey, Draconius. Yes, all these people. Why have they not dropped music this year? And why do I don't know. I've just been thinking about like why I feel like large artists are not dropping music this year. Let's talk about it. So, this is something that I've just been thinking about. I thought about the Drake announcement. I don't know, it was just coming across like my personal friend group and like a group chat. And I don't listen particularly like to I'm not like a Drake stan or anything like that. But somebody brought it up. They were like, dang, like, why has he not released this? Like, he put out a trailer, he put out promo materials. Like, why has he not put out music? And so I kind of started to think about this. Then I started to just listen to music, people who were higher up on the list, like Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, like, they started to release some, a little bits of here music. And SZA, I believe she did drop a single this year. It just kind of got to me. Why are these people not releasing music? I'm in the process of finishing a video called The Power of Concerts, like music concerts. I love music. I love music. You guys know this. And I thought about it. I was like, I don't know if I want to go to necessarily all the concerts I would, because the people who I feel like would be dropping music and that have amazing concerts aren't dropping the music. And then it hit me. So here's some thoughts. I think that the reason why artists, like large artists, are not dropping music is because of maybe money and also like distribution of music. Obviously, we know that if somebody like Beyonce drops music, it'll sell out, right? Things will sell out. It'll probably maybe hit number one. But then I was just like, but she can't perform it. I think I said this in a few videos, and one that I've recorded, and I don't know when I'm going to put this particular video up, where I said that I've started to hear some whisperings about Beyonce getting a residency in Las Vegas. And if that's the case, could she retire? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know when somebody like Beyonce could retire, even though I almost feel like she's semi-retired, to be completely honest, right now. She's living her life. After like Lemonade, I truly feel like she's kind of at a point where it's like, I've said all I need to say. I have all the money that I've made through touring, to be completely honest, actually. And Beyonce, she's one of the few artists, like, she's made most of her money in music distribution and touring in comparison with her spouse. Sean Carter, I was about to say something else, Jay-Z. And so it hit me where I was like, I almost think that the reason why some of these artists do not want to put out their music yet is because they know that people are not fully bodied or not in the complete access to go see their music if they had a concert. And I think that's a problem. There was also like another report that I read, and if I have the photo, I'll flash it in the screen, but maybe not because I don't want to edit this. I had also heard some news from like Beyonce's like distribution company, like her like entertainment arm, that like that company is like her publisher, and it's called like Parkwood, I believe. Like, there was some news about how she was talking to like concert event venues for like closed concerts, like seated concerts with like a tarp covered, spaced out from each person going. Like, I heard about that as well. And so I'm starting to feel like maybe these artists don't want to put out music yet because they want to make the touring money. A lot of artists lost a lot of their source of income because they were not able to tour. In fact, that's a lot of how artists are able to make up their money, because of the sort of contracts they sign to get their music distributed and published by these record labels. So I'm thinking about these people who really make splashes and make waves, and I'm like, I feel like they don't want to do it yet. I feel like they're all kind of waiting on something. And I'm curious, I'm curious to hear like what that's all about. What do you guys think? I think this is going to be a short video. This is just kind of a thought that I was having. I think also I had seen As Told by Kenya had a really interesting video that she put out recently where she talked about this. She's like, all these big people are not publishing music. And of course, she kind of talked about this in a different scope, where she was talking about just the state of the music industry and how she feels like a lot of music right now is being almost like it's being made for a timeline and not really something to be remembered. It's almost like artists are dropping music that is subpar and maybe something that can make a splash or for like maybe outrage on Twitter, and that's it. Maybe people use like this like maybe people use this like burst of attention to maybe sell a product or parlay themselves into other parts of entertainment. But for the most part, very few people are making music right now that it's like memorable. It's not making waves. It's not interesting in some ways. And it's weird for me to say because some people are like, oh, it's Gen Z's fault. And y'all know how I feel about that Gen Z stuff. Cause I'm like, a lot of people made shit, okay? This isn't our fault. I don't know why every single time people talk about the Gen Z people, I'm like, we did not make this social media. One moment it was the millennials made Vine and all this other stuff popular and kind of the rapidization or like rapid kind of consumption of media. Like this stuff was not created by us, you know what I mean? And funnily enough, people just be spouting false statistics. Gen Z, younger people do not have short attention spans. Like I don't know where anybody is getting this like information from. We actually do consume and prefer to consume longer form content, which is why when Quibi, that money laundering, scheme, Kenroy's gonna be like, okay, fine. Allegedly, I just feel like when Quibi came out and it flopped, it's like you guys could have done something good, but I always expected Quibi to flop because I think it was a scheme. I don't know, it was a scheme. But I feel like that's why right now TikTok is really like competing with a YouTube. Broadcasting companies and traditional entertainment are really competing with YouTube because people really consume a lot of that content. People are really like watching a lot of this stuff. So kind of back to the premise of what I was saying, and that's really to end off what I felt about, what As Told by Kenya was saying and just some of the things that she said, because obviously y'all know it went beyond paraphrasing. I said what she said, but then I have thoughts on that as well, which is just like, is this stuff really like interesting? And it's coming from somebody who I do listen to like independent artists and I do listen to music that I feel like is great, but it's just like, it's like nothing sticks, and it low key, it kind of makes me think of like a Rihanna. Rihanna hasn't put out music. I don't know. I feel like anybody waiting on Riri to put out music at this point, you could just die. I don't know. Like you could just like poof disappear and she might still not put out that album. I honestly think she's okay. If she doesn't want to put out music, she has a solid discography, amazing discography. Like I was also kind of thinking about Rihanna as well. It's like, even with some of these pop peoples, I almost feel like maybe outside of Doja Cat, like and I'm not even like a super fan of hers, like either, I just feel like even in pop, it's just not able to stick. It's like not interesting. And whenever I ask myself these types of questions, I do think of Rihanna. I do feel like because of the sort of work that Rihanna has made, it's just like, people just cannot compare. Like they just can't compare. Like they can't compare where they don't compete, and it's just not sticking. It's just not sticking. Nothing is sticking. And so I think back to the larger topic of why are artists not putting out work? Why? Like why are all these people who we know could make serious waves? I think it's just like, one, taking time, just like, well, the rest of us, they're not the rest of us. These rich people are not like us. You know what I mean? But it's just like, looking at everything and saying like, are people even ready for what it is I've been here working on? These projects aren't cheap, so if I know I can't tour, I'm not trying to make this whole project and it's like a whole issue with maybe people consuming or people being extremely distracted or forlorn or like depressed because like they're at home and they're poor, so let's wait till the economy picks back up, please. So this is my prediction. I think that I feel like by the end of the year, like because this is the thing. I thought that I feel like Rihanna maybe is not the great person to. As time goes on, we obviously realize like she's on her own time. She got screwed out of music, and that's why she had to start making all these like physical merchandising and products. So now she's like, she never has to depend on whatever music is anymore for her to think of how she's going to live out the rest of her life in peace, to be honest. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I think from this point on, I don't really expect her to put out anything. And if she does, it's a highlight. Just know, if Rihanna puts out an album, I don't even know what's going to happen. Do you understand what I mean? Like, if Rihanna puts out music, you know what my fear is? My fear is that she's not going to put out good music, which is like blasphemy, but I'm afraid like she's going to put out stuff that is just like, bro, you do make good work. Like, you do have a good ear. Like, I want to hear some good work, you know? But for Rihanna, for example, I had thought this summer she was going to put something out. I felt like depending on how the summer was going to go, that certain artists were going to put things out. But unfortunately, you know, the economy obviously did not pick back up. People still poor. People are still depressed. You know, uprisings about to happen, world collapsing. So they're just like, no, we about to hold this shit back in. But you know those times in society where it's like things are looking back up, things are looking back up. You know, like that feeling that you get where you talk to your friends, maybe you get a job, maybe things are happening. Maybe things are happening in society. You can just tell like the energy of like things are picking up. I think that that's when music is going to be released. And I felt like that moment could have been this summer until people were like, no, all these state officials, all whatever's going on with the distribution of the vaccine, all these people are delusional. So I feel like just kind of taking in that kind of thoughts, they were just like, okay, maybe now's not a good time. But I feel like maybe next year, maybe at the end of this year, maybe if people are feeling really good about the end of the year, maybe like spring next year, if people are feeling good, depending on how like everything's going, I think we'll probably start to see some of this music dropped. Especially when like music concerts will be able to come back to life in some of the ways. I don't really know if the world will ever be the same after what has happened this past year. I don't think the world will ever be the same. And I don't really know if that's a bad thing. But I definitely think that when the world is ready to kind of resume these sort of spectacles of excitement, the festivals of excitement, the festivities, I think that's when we're going to start to see some music. I think I was surprised. I was like, oh, these people aren't dropping music. But as the year goes on and things happen and things keep popping up, I'm like, oh, wait, no, I don't think I'm surprised. What do you guys think? This is going to be a shorter video. I said I was going to end the video 5 minutes ago, but I think I'm going to end the video here. Let me know. What do you think? Also, you see the vision. Look at this little. Oh my gosh. Let me stop. What if I like dropped a hat and it looked exactly like this? Like, I'm just like thinking about like this look. Like, do you see this? Is it like lace front? Like, what is this? I'm hiding like a bad wig. Could you imagine if I like glued the wig onto the like a hair hat? Like, okay, let me stop. Cute. All right. Thank you so much for listening to another one of my tapes. And I think I'll see you guys in a live. Like I said, I'm finishing up some work. So you guys let me know. Do you like lives over recorded videos? You know what I mean? Because like, when I'm feeling good and like when I have everything together, I like kind of record some stuff. And I was like, should I like schedule this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, should I schedule these, or would it just be better use of my time and like everybody's enjoyment and peace if we're able to just chit chat? Because like literally I want to make a live and just title it like, let's play a game, stalkers, schemers, and scammers, because I feel like I've been peeping some interesting stuff going on, and I'm like, we gotta talk about it. I don't know. I miss talking to you guys. Oh my God. I feel like such an adult. Like, this sucks. Bye. Wait. Put a fruit emoji if you made it this far. Mwah.